When I pulled into my driveway after a 4-day business trip, the first thing I noticed was the red light blinking on my smart lock. The second thing? My key didn't work. At first, I thought it was a system glitch. I had installed that lock myself. High-end, custom firmware, biometric failsafe. No way it malfunctioned on its own. Then I heard her. "Hi there," a shrill voice called from across the lawn. "Deborah, HOA president." Mid-50s, khakis always perfectly pressed, and a voice that sounded like every email marked urgent. "We've secured your property," she said, stepping forward like she was doing me a favor. There were complaints. Safety concerns. We couldn't wait. "Who authorized this?" I asked, barely masking the disbelief in my voice. "The board," she smiled, waving a folded letter. "Violation of unattended access points." I stared at her, then at the lock. They had replaced it. The worst part? I recognized the model, because I designed it. Back before I left corporate, I had helped blueprint the smart grid for this entire neighborhood. Streetlights, locks, even the garbage chute sensors. I knew every override, every backdoor. The HOA must have hired someone clueless to install this thinking it would lock me out. It didn't. I used my backup tablet in the car to log in through the admin shell. They hadn't even changed the default credentials. One tap, and I had full diagnostic access to the house. But I didn't open the door. Not yet. I wanted to see where this would go. That night, I began making adjustments. Minor things. The streetlights in front of Deborah's home dimmed to 10% at exactly 7:53 p.m. Her sprinklers turned on at irregular intervals. Her smart speaker played NPR at 3:12 a.m. 3 nights in a row. She called a tech guy. They swapped the router. Changed passwords. I smiled. They were still on the same mesh network I built 5 years ago. It didn't matter what they changed. They were standing on a foundation I had poured. By day 6, HOA board members were holding emergency meetings. At 1, Deborah's slide deck failed mid-presentation, replaced by a blank screen with the message, "System compromised, reverting to original admin." That night, I turned off the front porch lights on every board member's house at the same moment. I wasn't being malicious. I was being precise. Then things escalated. Deborah filed a formal complaint accusing someone of cyber infiltration. She blamed foreign actors or rogue hackers. A few days later, I noticed federal agents walking the street in plain clothes. Apparently, the neighborhood system had flagged anomalies on a national grid. They tied it to a central developer signature. Mine. They knocked on my door. I invited them in. I explained calmly. I was the original designer. I had root access for emergency failsafes. Nothing I did was illegal. I showed logs, admin history, and even the footage of Deborah replacing my lock without notice. Technically, unlawful entry. The agent nodded. "We've seen this before." HOA goes too far. Homeowner pushes back. "You just did it better." Word spread fast. Residents started asking questions. Why was Deborah acting like a private security firm? Who voted on this? Was anyone actually in danger? I released a public statement through the community forum. Just facts. Timeline. Screenshots. Log entries. Calm. Professional. Unshakable. At the next board meeting, Deborah looked like a deflated balloon. Her allies avoided eye contact. One woman even mouthed sorry as I walked past. The vote came quick. Deborah was removed from her position. Control over all smart systems was transferred to a decentralized committee with rotating access protocols, something I helped design that night, for free. On her last day in the neighborhood, I saw Deborah loading boxes into her car. She didn't look angry, just tired. She glanced at me once across the yard. I nodded. No sarcasm. No gloating. Just balance. She drove away without saying a word. That night, I reset my lock. Just one beep. One soft click. No drama. The streetlights shone evenly again. The grid quieted. The system rested. And for the first time in weeks, I rolled out my yoga mat on the porch, lay down, and stared up at the stars, knowing the system I built was back in good hands.